Hi, we're going to be doing Chapter 6, Segment 1, an outline. We're going to start off with the how the idea of Darwinism and evolution began. At the time of Darwin, naturalists were brought onto ships to study the world because they were smart people and could converse with the captains. Plausible mechanisms for evolution were lacking with the naturalist idea. Wallace came up with evolution spontaneously while suffering from a fever. Then came Darwin, who collected data for 20 years after his voyage on the HMS Beagle. While Darwin was on his voyage, he was pointed out that the giant tortoises on the different islands each had different shells. Darwin then collected finches from the different islands because they had different beaks as compared to the finches from the mainland. And this is because they ate different types of food. This shows that the finches gradually diverged from an original ancestor on the mainland. Darwin made 4 main observations and one important factor. The first observation was reproduction will tend to increase a population rapidly unless factors limit it. Individuals of a given species are not identical. Some of the variations of the individuals are inherited. Not all of the offspring of the given generation survive to reproduce. And the important factor is that variations of individuals affect the probability of some members to surviving to reproduce. And this means that if they don't survive to reproduce, they can't pass down their genes, and only the individuals with good traits get to pass down their genes. And since only individuals with better genes are passing down their genes, this leads to adaptations over generations. Sexual selection plays a role in which different sexes are choosy with who they mate with and want to mate with individuals with better characteristics that are better for survival. Darwin's theory did not explain the mechanism of inheriting individual characteristics, basically how we inherit our traits. And it also didn't explain the source of individual variation. Adaptation causes similarities in behavior or structure among species that may not be related in the process, which is convergent evolution. The resemblances among species that aren't actually related but due to adaptation are known as homoplasies. And homology is similarities between species that have a common ancestor. Evolution of extremely complex structures is a result of conspecifics, which are beneficial mutations giving the individual a reproductive advantage. Scientists study chromosomes, genes, and epigenetic modifications in species that reproduce rapidly. For example, the Drosophila fly, because you can see how certain traits are passed down from certain individuals and how their offspring turn out quickly over a short period of time. Carolus Linnaeus developed the classification system that we use today. In terms of naming, you name an organism by its genus, and then you list its specific species, like Homo sapiens for humans. First, the genus is Homo, and then the species is Sapiens. And then the Linnaeus classification system, you start from most broad to least broad, is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Phylogeny is a family tree that shows which species gave rise to another. This goes into taxonomy, which is understanding the genetics to reconstruct phylogeny. In taxonomy, DNA changes at a steady average rate in all lineages. The proportion of differences between DNA samples from 2 species can be used to estimate how long ago they diverged from a common ancestor. And humans and chimps split from their common ancestor 7 to 13 million years ago. Since fossil dates can be too recent estimates from fossil, therefore fossil and DNA evidence don't agree in dating branches of the evolutionary tree. Researchers used to believe that humans were the pinnacle of evolution, basically stating that evolution has basically just led up to humans being created. And this gave the thought that animals were all subhumans or little humans. And this also gave the idea of linear descent, in which there was a straight line that basically had a single trajectory from simple to complex, in which human beings are the most complex. Now we kind of understand that evolution is a set of multi-branching radiations, in which we now know that we are, and so are animals in the entire universe, are constantly evolving.